Welcome to iScope Media. Today we are going to talk about the increasing online financial services fraud in India. Well, attempts and incidents of digital fraud have been increasing since the beginning of the COVID-19 outbreak. Credit Bureau TransUnion said in a report based on its latest quarterly analysis of the global online fraud trends. Well, a separate report by the fraud data insights startup Trust Checker said that 41% of the digital frauds in India occurred in the eastern region. Well, TransUnion came to its conclusion about the frauds against the businesses based on the intelligence from billions of transactions and more than 40,000 global websites and apps contained in its fraud analytics solution suite. These websites and apps have traffic coming from all countries. The Bureau found that the percent of the suspected fraudulent digital transaction attempts against the businesses originating from India increased 28.32% when comparing the period between March 11, 2019 and March 10, 2020 with the period between March 11, 2020 and March 10, 2021. Fraudsters are always looking to take advantage of significant world events. The COVID-19 pandemic and its corresponding rapid digital acceleration brought about by stay-at-home orders is a global event unrivaled in the online age, said Shalini Srivastava, Executive Vice President and Head of Fraud Solutions at the TransUnions in India. Well, by analyzing billions of transactions globally, TransUnion screened for fraud indicators over the past year. And this revealed that the war against the virus has also brought about a war against digital fraud. In India, across industries, TransUnion found that the highest share of suspected digital fraudulent transactions originated from Mumbai, Delhi, and Chennai. Trust Checker in its report said that the most number of the unified payments interface scams take place on payment apps and marketplaces, with 41% of fraud distributions accounted for in the eastern part of India and states of West Bengal, Orissa, Bihar, Assam, Kashmir, Arunachal Pradesh, Meghalaya, Tripura, Nagaland, Mizoram, Manipur, Himachal Pradesh, and Sikkim. Well, the top frauds take place in KYC, fake cashback, fraud through digital wallets, fake selling, QR codes, UPI phishing, lottery scams, and financial frauds on social media. Insights into the survey revealed that top scamsters were from Patna, Chandigarh, Kolkata, and Meerut for one of the top payment apps at 15%. Most QR code scams originated from Assam, accounting for 20% of the total distribution, Trust Checker has said. Well, the company observed that many fraudster profiles claimed to be army men. This was most likely the result of border clashes between India and China, due to which there was an upsurge in the patriotic sentiments among the general public, and the fraudsters looked to cash in on the sentiment by playing the emotional card. In QR code frauds, most fraudsters posed as army men selling something on marketplaces. Well, with the pandemic having pushed people to lean further towards contactless payments, a lack of awareness and vulnerabilities in confidential card details are increasing digital frauds. Trust Checker identified over 1 million frauds together in business-to-business and business-to-customer segments in the last 15 months. Well, 25% scams in KYC, 20% in QR codes, while B2B scams are largely done with 30% fake identities and 25% synthetic identity frauds. Trust Checker's findings are based on 350,000 data points collected from top hashtags, 200 plus Twitter handles, partner data shared over the last 12 months, and its proprietary social scanning technology. Well, now if we move on and look at TransUnion said that the conclusions about the fraud against businesses were based on intelligence from billions of transactions and more than 40,000 global websites and apps contained in fraud analytics solution suite TransUnion to validate. These websites and apps have traffic coming from all the countries across the globe, including India, it said. It found the percentage of suspected fraudulent digital transaction attempts against businesses originating from India increased 28.32% when the period between 11 March 2019 and 10th March 2020 when compared with the period of 11 March 2020 to 10th March 2021. Fraudsters are always looking for an advantage of significant world events. The COVID-19 pandemic and its corresponding digital acceleration brought about stay-at-home orders in a global event unraveled in the online age, said Shalini Srivastava. Srivastava also said that by analyzing billions of transactions globally, it screened for fraud indicators over the past year, and has become that the war against the virus has also brought war against the digital fraud. In India, across countries, TransUnion found the highest percentage of suspected transactions in Mumbai, Delhi, and Chennai. Well, as more consumers go online for banking and other financial transactions, new research from TransUnion found fraudsters are ramping up their activities in the financial services industry. When analyzing transactions originating from India, the rate of suspected digital fraud attempts against the financial services companies increased 88.50% compared to the last 4 months of 2020 and the first 4 months of 2021 as well. Globally, suspected financial services digital fraud attempts increased by 149%. Well, the rate of fraud attempts is up globally and especially in the financial services industry because fraudsters understand that this is where the most high-value transactions are taking place, said Shai Colin, the Senior Vice President of the Global Fraud Solutions at TransUnion. We are seeing more financial services originations implement fraud prevention solution with some success, though our findings make it clear that this is not the time to relax, he added. Well, the pandemic is associated with shifting consumer behaviors and new fraud threats. In late September 2020, TransUnion found 40% of the financial account holders were using digital platform more frequently since the onset of the pandemic. The same survey revealed 60% of the consumers conduct most of their financial transactions through mobile applications. As the economy begins to open up and perform better, businesses need to do to more provide a secure platform for marketplace that offers friction-right experiences to customers, added Cohen. Well, now if we look at the targeted industries which emerged as fraud attempt rate, which has actually risen. These global fraud insights are based on intelligence from billions of transactions in over 40,000 websites and apps. Well, these findings reveal suspected digital fraud attempts across industries from India increased 24.87% when comparing the last 4 months of the 2020 to the first 4 months of 2021. Though the same findings show not all industries are targeted equally. An analysis of sector with the largest increases and declines is suspected digital fraud too shows that financial services had the most significant increase in the fraud attempt rate at 88.50%, followed by telecom communication with 18.54% and travel and leisure by 11.57%. Well, along with that, gaming experienced the most significant decrease in the fraud rate at minus 34.03%, followed by the logistics that was minus 13.17% and retail, which was at minus 4.19%. We are seeing other industries facing fewer suspected fraud attempts than financial services. In some cases, we are actually seeing a decline in such fraud attempts, said Melissa Gaddis, Senior Director of the Customer Success. Well, the COVID-19 pandemic has pushed a lot of people into the digital world. Thanks to the threat of the virus, a lot of people have had to adapt to using various digital platforms to lead their lives. From working, shopping, studying, to getting entertained, paying bills and carrying out banking transactions as well. With a surge in people using online banking, banks have also had to scale up. According to experts, COVID-19 has acted as a catalyst for digital banking services. Well, naturally, this heightened activity has attracted the attention of criminals as well. According to VMware report from the last year, between February and April 2020, attacks targeting the financial sector have grown by 238% globally. No wonder that the Unisys Security Index 2020 released last year found that one of the top concerns of recipients of the India was bank card fraud, unauthorized access to credit and debit details, and concerns around online banking and shopping. Well, now if we look at most banking frauds in India are primarily composed of credit card frauds, especially incident of card cloning, which have seen a significant rise over the years. While India was one of the first countries to adopt the instant payment system or the QR code based system, a very secure one for the banks and customers, already says that on the cards front, lack of adequate endpoint security at the device level is exposing the customers to fraudulent transactions. Well, impersonation frauds have also increased over the years, where data thieves obtain KYC credentials through online phishing via social media or email. How then does one guard against such frauds, especially since those new to the banking sphere might not be aware of the security protocol? Well, mobile phone manufacturers too could play a key role in avoiding fraudulent transactions. However, not all frauds take place at the customer's end. Now, few sources have also suggested that it is the phone manufacturers who could play a vital role in avoiding such frauds to happen. Well, now stay with us. We shall bring you more important such topics to discuss on. This is Aparna Singh reporting for iScope Media.